The Neuse River has been an important part of the area surrounding current-day Kinston for hundreds of years. She gets her name from the Noosauk Indians who once hunted and fished around the banks of the river. As settlers put down roots in the area, a small town developed along the river. The town was named Kinston in honor of King George III. One of the earliest inhabitants was a scrawny planter from Maryland named Richard Caswell. Caswell became a well-known statesman, serving over 20 years in the General Assembly. While there, Caswell attempted to establish Tower Hill just outside of Kinston as the state's capital. Although the measure was approved, it was never executed. As war loomed in the colonies, Caswell was sent to Philadelphia for the Continental Congress. He distinguished himself among the debaters and caught the attention of the founding fathers like John Adams, who said of Caswell, "We always looked to Richard Caswell from North Carolina. He was a model man and a true patriot." As a colonel, he led the Patriots to victory at the Battle of Moores Creek. He was quickly promoted to brigadier general, and when North Carolina approved a state constitution, Caswell was quickly elected as the state's first governor. As war ravaged in the colonies, Caswell secured the capital of the state in Kinston, away from the British. Harmony Hall was used as the state's hub of government for a period of time. Caswell owned the house during the Revolutionary period. The house still stands today in its colonial period as a tribute to not only a Kinston founder, but as an American patriot. The local historical society maintains the house and the gardens nearby. After the War for American Independence, the residents of Kinston petitioned the General Assembly to drop the G from the name, and thus the name Kinston was born. The sleepy town settled in for the next 60 years until the election of 1860. The election of Abraham Lincoln brought concern to Kinston and Lenoir County. The state put a measure on the ballot in February of 1861 for a statewide secession convention. The measure failed in Lenoir County and the state. It wasn't until Lincoln called for troops from North Carolina to help to put down the newly formed Confederacy that North Carolina seceded. Little did soldiers from Lenoir County leaving to fight in Virginia know that the war would be fought right in their own backyard.
We're standing on the battlefield, part of the battlefield of the First Battle of Kinston. What many people do not realize is after the Burnside expedition in early 1862, the Outer Banks of North Carolina, Roanoke Island, New Bern, and even Fort Macon went in under federal control, and they remained under federal control until the war was over. So Kinston became the front lines of the Confederacy in this part of the state.
The Confederate government even commissioned a battleship to be built in Kinston in 1862. It was called the CSS Ramneuse.
What the boat was really designed to do was to go down the Neuse River all the way to New Bern and provide artillery support to Confederate soldiers who were going to make a land assault and try to reclaim New Bern. And there were at least two different plans of doing that, and neither one of them was successful. So the Neuse was brought here, it was finished. The water was abnormally low in the Neuse River at that time because this part of North Carolina had been in a semi-drought. One of the things that people don't realize is that just having the Neuse in Kinston changed, it made the federal forces always have to take account of that boat as they made any kind of plans to make incursions into this part of North Carolina, because they never knew where the Neuse might be, but they did know that it was equipped well with the guns. The Neuse had two 6.4-inch rifled cannons. The Neuse did not see that much action until the Battle of Wise Fork. When the Battle of Wise Fork occurred, the Noose did go down and provide artillery support for the Confederate soldiers at the Battle of Wise Fork. That's one reason we know that the gun could fire a mile and a half off the boat, because they found fragments of Brooks rifle projectiles a mile and a half from the river. The Noose went down, provided artillery support. When General Bragg decided to disengage from Wise Fork and go join up with General Johnston, what ended up happening is the decision was made to scuttle the Noose.
The ram noose settled to the bottom of the river, and for all intents and purposes, the war for Southern independence was extinguished, just as the burning pine beams on the ironclad. Kinston today has seen a rebirth and a rebranding thanks to new businesses such as Mother Earth Brewery, the Chef and the Farmer. There's even a modern take on the old Farmers and Merchant Bank that allows guests to stay in a classy 5-star hotel room. If a throwback is what you want, check out Mother Earth Mother Lodge just a block away from the brewery. Downtown businesses have been popping up. Kinston still has a rich heritage in agriculture that is evident in a well-visited farmers market.
I think the farmers market has been a big part of the revitalization of downtown Kinston. We sort of were doing the market as everyone else was doing their businesses, and it plays along with each other. I think that local foods has become a real strong movement in people's lives, that they want to know where their food comes from. They want fresh local produce. Our restaurants are focusing more on that, even the ones that you may not realize are. So we see a lot of our restaurateurs coming in here and buying produce, and we appreciate that. I mean, I think that has added to the whole revitalization. Currently, we're open on Tuesdays and Saturdays, about 8 o'clock until 2 or till they run out of produce, sometimes a little earlier, especially when it's hot, like it seems like it's starting to get now. And we actually are working next door on constructing a new commercial kitchen, because we had farmers and producers that were not able to sell their canned goods and processed foods because they didn't have their kitchens inspected. So this kitchen will be inspected and will be available for use to the whole community. Another side project of that kitchen is to be able to feed first responders during the event of natural disaster or flood, because so far this area right here has not flooded. And this is a good spot to do that from, on this side of Highway 70.
In Kinston, there are still several businesses that have been around for a long time, like H Stadium's, Lovett's Cafe, which dates back to 1941, and Reynolds Seafood.
The family started in 1960. The immediate family started in 1970. That would be J.C. Reynolds and Buster Murphy. J.C. Reynolds bought out Buster Murphy in 1972. Since then, it's been basically in the Reynolds family. Seen changes through the years. You know, we expanded, probably we changed the name from Kinston Fish and Oyster to Reynolds Seafood in the mid-80s. Ain't clear about what year on that. I'd have to look at some documentation. But yeah, we've seen some changes really in the past 10 years with the Chef and the Farmer and the brewery coming in. A lot more people on the street, and it's really opened up a lot of things. Business-wise, you know, it's helped us some. We've had people that come in when they're basically doing the Kinston crawl, where they're seeing everything, staying at the motor lodge and going down to Chef and Farm in the boiler room meeting. And we've seen a lot of change there, because before the brewery come on Saturday afternoon, when Lovett's Cafe closed at 11, only people downtown open was us, the liquor store, and Hyman Stadium at Stadium's, department store. So we've seen a big change since that. So then we got several restaurants that opened up.
Just down the street at Parrott General Store, owners have enjoyed seeing an increase in downtown traffic and look forward to more.
Yeah, they come down here for the restaurants, and we've got a few new little retail stores here. We need more retail stores. People are waiting for reservations to go eat dinner, and they want to walk around and do things. So we need a few more businesses down here to give them something to do, walk around and look at. But it's definitely picked up a lot.
In addition to the new restaurants and commercial development, there's been an explosion of interest in the arts that can be seen in various parts of downtown. One feature is the African American Music Heritage Park. The park features a walking trail showing various individuals who've contributed to African American music from Kinston and also from Eastern North Carolina.
The hub of the African American Music Trail of Eastern North Carolina. This trail showcases the unique and powerful African American musical culture that is so abundant here in North Carolina.
Just across the river is a different revitalization effort for nature lovers. The Nooseway Nature Center offers nature displays, a planetarium, and a campground that people can enjoy year-round.
Well, we just love the campground. Some of the group likes the baseball games they're going to tonight, and we've been through the town visiting the Noose, I believe it is, ship, and we just love the area. Nice people, good places to eat.
When I'm at home now and I find out somebody is wanting to find a nice campground with a park for children, I highly recommend them coming here because it was a safe place, and the children can ride bicycles and they can ride the choo-choo train and all the fun that's up there. And they have a big facility to shelter for eating out, and the campsites are just great.
For sports fans, you can always catch a Down East Wood Duck game at historic Granger Stadium. Pearson Park offers kids a great opportunity for outside play and for family picnics. On certain nights, the park is taken over by Summerfest, which features bands and lots of summertime fun. And if you're wondering how Kinston incorporates all the new development with its rich history, well, you have to look no further than the CSS Noose Interpretive Center, which is now featuring the CSS Noose that was pulled from the river.
Today we're at the CSS Noose Civil War Interpretive Center, where we house the remains of the CSS Noose, which was an ironclad ship during the Civil War. Today we have 141 feet left out of 158 of the original ship.
The center incorporates historic presentations, displays, and learning about the ship. For a real hands-on experience, Kinston has even reconstructed the CSS Noose in full-size replica.
We worked from the plans of the original, and we were fortunate enough to have Alton Stapleford come in there and sort of superintend the construction. He was a master boat builder. He made his living making custom wooden boats, and he came over there and he took over the project. They worked on it from 2002 to 2009, 7 years to build the replica. In 2009, they began to open it up to the general public so that people could actually go on board. So what you can do here in Kinston is you can come and actually get on a replica of the original CSS Ram Noose. You can go through the gun deck, which is the top deck, it's called the casemate. You can go downstairs and you can go through the bottom.
The Noose 2, as it's called, offers visitors a one-of-a-kind experience in actually going aboard the CSS Noose and what it would have looked like.
It is really great. We just wanted to come and see actual size of an ironclad, and this is, and it was very fun to walk through the ship and look at it.
Out on Highway 70, visitors are greeted with a welcome center, built on the exact grounds of the First Battle of Kinston.
First Battle of Kinston, which was fought right here. We've been open 13 years. We've had visitors from every state in the Union, every Canadian province, Mexico, all of the European countries, Korea, Japan, China, the Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, lots and lots of places. It's amazing to me how many people come to Kinston.
The Visitor Center offers tourists not only information on Kinston's history, but artifacts that rival most present-day museums. In addition to the great history on display, the center is full of great information on the area.
We have maps of every state. We have literature on everything that's of any interest anywhere in the area. The people who work here are pretty knowledgeable about the area and are able to answer almost all questions.
The biggest draw in Kinston is the Festival on the Noose, held every first weekend in May.
Well, the Festival on the Noose started, I'm not even sure how many years ago. I know the pig cook-off component of it has been going on for 70-something years. And we have people probably that were either relatives or members of families that have been, coming to this thing. The festival we started the festival very small to celebrate pork. And I was not here then. And it has grown to not only celebrate our agricultural heritage and pork production in the local area, but to also provide other community organizations the opportunity to have a booth and to sell stuff. And as you grow, you attract more people. And so what happens is our local community is able to raise more money for their individual charities or private business as a result of the number of people. So I think one year we had 25 pigs when I first started doing this, and we're up to 95. And we went from 3,000 people to 40 or 50,000 people. And when you're a 50,000 people festival that provides barbecue, a car show, rides for kids, numerous arts and crafts vendors, all other kinds of vendors, like you want to buy a bottle of water, you want to buy insurance, you can buy anything, or you can talk to somebody about any of it. Clothes, whatever you're looking for. So the bigger our festival has gotten, the more we've attracted people. So now we have 3 stages and bands running continuously on all 3 stages, and we started with 1. So it's been a real boost to our economy, I think, here locally, the fact that we get these people into town, and while they're here, they're also going to get to see other things that we have. Businesses that are open all year long, and they're going to come back and check out, we'll come back and check that out, we'll come back and check that out. So I think, I'm not sure the whole community realizes how important it is and how critical it is to the economic development of our area.
Kinston has seen a lot of great development and yet looks forward to much more. It also has been able to preserve its history. One thing that remains the same in Kinston, past, present, and future: the waters of the Neuse will continue to flow along the banks of the town of Kinston.